Good evening, it's Professor Liam. Here we are looking at the Chapter 4 Homework podcast. So we're going to go through in detail and look at some of the trouble spots here. Take care. Hi, this is Professor Liam. We're looking at the Chapter 4 podcast, and this is the Homework podcast. What we see is the first homework problem. This is number 1 in your assignment. It's problem 4-3B in the book. And we're looking at preparing the bank reconciliation and recording cash adjustments. So the top is a given item and it's the general ledger records. Then in the bottom of the page, we see the bank statement and a bank statement balance. Here at the bottom, we see a bank reconciliation. And the reconciliation starts with the bank cash balance on the left and the company's cash balance on the right. The top two numbers do not agree to each other, but the bank statement balance comes from the bank statement itself. It's the balance there. And the general ledger balance comes from the general ledger records. The bank side almost never requires a journal entry. This is just timing differences. Why the bank doesn't understand all the deposits we've made, and why they don't understand the checks outstanding. But on the cash side, or the company side, most of these things will require an adjustment. They're usually items that weren't recorded in the general journal. It might have been they were recorded wrong, like you see the company error up here. They also might be various transactions, usually marked with some kind of abbreviation like EFT or INT, that represent things the bank knew we did, but we didn't know about. At the end, these two items balance. Notice the numbers at the bottom, 5170 on this example, for both the reconciled cash and the reconciled cash per general ledger, I should say, versus cash per bank balance. And here we have the rest of the assignment. This is heavy on journal entries. So first you're given a whole bunch of accounts to record journal entries for, and journal entries is a very prominent part of the test. The one thing I want to show you is the transaction on June 7th is a compound entry. So please don't make the mistake of thinking that there can only be one debit and one credit. It's simply that a journal entry has to have however many debits it has equal however many credits it has. And these are the correct journal entries for the problem given. Now there are other things as we go on. Requirement number 4 simply wanted to see if you knew all the transactions that involved cash, and these were most of the transactions shown. The 5th one actually shows the various changes to the cash general ledger balance. So this is kind of like a general ledger account for cash. And then part 6 is a cash flow statement. And I've told you, although the whole cash section is important to doing a cash flow statement, other than having to get through homework questions, I'm really not going to put too much on tests about this. So what you've seen is a brief, condensed view of all the homework that was required for Chapter 4. Good luck, and let me know if you have questions.